Okay, so I just put my daughter down for a nap, so that's kind of all the spit up that I have on me. But you'll know if this message is for you if you have experienced envy and jealousy and malice in your life. And I just want to speak life over that, okay? So, Spirit, allow me to be a vessel. Please deliver this message clearly. The cards keep wanting to jump out before I even have them shuffled. So, Page of Wands. Again, this is I think this kind of speaks to my intent here. This is transmuting that energy. This is allowing that envy, jealousy, and malice to spark a new flame in you, to literally transmute that energy. And how do you transmute energy? You sit there and you say, whenever you feel these thoughts, negative emotions, or these circumstances that have happened to you, and I know you've been through some stuff because you're here in this collective, because you're watching this video, because you've made it this long. I know for a fact you have been through some terrible, terrible stuff. I mean, stuff that they wouldn't even know that that was your story just by looking at you, right? But you still have encountered people who your light only shines on their demons. So it makes them want to snuff it out. They can't sit with that level of exposure. So they have to do everything in their power to dim your light. Okay, again, that's how you know this message is for you. So transmute that energy. Transmute it. Whenever someone, or again, these thoughts, these experiences, these circumstances pop up in your head, just say, I don't live there anymore. That is not the reality I choose to be a part of. And let it go. Let it go. I know for a fact it's easier said than done, because sometimes you want to see them suffer the way that they made you suffer. I mean, it's human nature to want vengeance sometimes. It's human nature to want justice. But you also have to realize divine justice, baby, divine justice, no one can humble you or anyone else the way the Lord can. So nothing you do with your mortal hands, nothing you start, nothing you manifest for these people will hit home quite the way that God can make it hit home. And again, when you transmute that energy, when you take your energy back, when you say no more, I don't live there anymore, I'm going to use my discernment. Now I know what an envious person looks like. Now I know what a jealous person looks like. Now I know the malice behind those little snarky comments. Oh, everyone's laughing, but I feel like crap because you said that to me. I feel like I need to make myself smaller because you said that to me. And you realize that was the point. You know what? That was the point. That was the point in all that. So I'm not going to give you that energy. I'm not going to make myself smaller. I'm not going to make myself more digestible for you, because that's what you want me to do. Sometimes I saw this post that said sometimes the bad person is banking on you being the bigger person. They're banking on you being the bigger person because it will enable them to keep doing what they're doing, not only to you, but to other people too. And I know that every bully has been bullied. I understand that. But at some point, you gotta grow up. At some point, you have to say to yourself, dang, I'm the jerk here. Dang, I'm the problem. I'm the problem. I ain't got no real friends. People hate to see me coming. I think that just means I'm tough, and I just tell it like it is. No, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. I know, you're a jerk. But seriously, like, no, at some point these people have to be able to look around and say, dang, the Lord isn't being as generous with me as he once was. What is this, 6 of coins? He's not being as generous with me as he once was. I wonder why. Because these people they're actually turning the wheel of fortune and the will of justice in our favor, because we're part of the same collective, right? We both have gone through things that most people would not even know that we've gone through. We've all experienced jealousy, envy, malice, people that are just unhappy with themselves, so they choose to make you just as unhappy as they are. But you have to realize that the Lord doesn't quite Instead of the Lord giving them blessings, the Lord gives them lessons, right? And he relies on them and their free will, because everyone has free will. That's the whole point of this, right? But he lets them use their free will to either transmute what he gives them into a lesson or a blessing. If these people, if they're not able to clock every time I talk bad about so and so, or every time I go out of my way to humble this person, the Lord humbles me tenfold. Why is that? Why? They don't think that way. You know what I'm saying? They think that you're the problem. They think that you're doing witchcraft on them. They think that you are the one that is withholding their blessing. Meanwhile, all you're doing is alchemizing every negative thought, every negative intention that they've had for you. You turn it into a blessing, because that's what the Lord asks for you to do. And again, they think that that you're the problem, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and keep pulling. Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? And then I can't make this up. Judgment, I can't make this up. It's actually hilarious. They are actually enacting judgment on themselves by not learning their lesson. There's nothing that you and I need to do. Okay, I really want to get that message across right here, right now. There is no divine justice that we need to enact on these people with our mortal hands. You do not need to be You do not need to be vengeful. You do not need to go above and beyond to get your apology. You do not need to humble them. Why? Because God is about to humble them like nobody else can. Look at this. Look at that card. I mean, like, seriously. Look at that card. Look at the lamb versus the devil. Innocence versus malicious intent. In the eyes of the Lord, in the court of the Lord, there's nothing you can do with your mortal calf hands, or whatever it is. But there's nothing you can do that is going to bring in divine justice better than the Lord can. Okay? So all you need to do is alchemize it. All you need to do is let that negative energy work for you. Say to yourself, every time someone speaks my name, speaks ill over my business, speaks ill over my plans, Lord, turn it into success. Turn it into success. Make them eat crow behind that. You know what I mean? Like, do not allow yourself to have your light dimmed just because you're shining light on their demons. Girl, let them deal with that. Okay? Obviously, they have bigger fish to fry. Obviously, they have bigger fish to fry. So don't let their burdens become your burden. Page of coins. Alchemize it into success. Alchemize it into money. Alchemize it into prosperity. Literally. Don't let them have your light. Don't let them have what they want. They want for you to feel down about yourself. They want for you to feel like you can't go on, like you can't make it. What's on the bottom of it? Just, y'all. Divine justice is at play. Divine justice is at play. I cannot make this up. They broke the commandments. Okay? Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not steal your light. Thou shalt not go above and beyond to be an envious person. Go above and beyond to try to steal what is not theirs to take. Okay? And that is what happened. And God says no more. They will not get away with this. They will not get away with this. One way or another, you don't even have to do anything. Now, isn't that a blessing? You mean I get to lay back in my bed, enjoy, watch my movies, watch Love is Blind, eat my popcorn, and know that it's working out in my favor anyways? Child, that's the real blessing. That's the, oh, which one? The Emperor. Take back your power. Take back your power. That is the moral of the story. I think that's what I'm going to title this. Take back your power. It was never theirs to steal. Your light is yours. You keep on shining and you don't let their demons try to snuff you out. Okay? Because justice is turning in your favor. Divine justice is being enacted. And you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to even do any work, honey.